Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on getting the most out of REO Alerts. REO Alerts is a new feature of Agent Elite that we just released. So if you're new to Equator or just need a little refresher on Agent Elite, you've come to the right place. I want to introduce myself. My name is Mia Simo, and I'm your host today. My role here at Equator is Agent Relationship and Social Media Manager. Our presenter today is Katie McDonald. Katie is our educational trainer at Equator, and she is very excited about this information that she's going to provide to you today. Before I begin, I would like to highlight a few details. Everyone is on listen-only mode, but we do encourage you to ask questions in the question box on your screen. At the end of the webinar, I will announce a few of the common questions that I see so everyone can benefit from the answer. If we run out of time, we will directly email you the answer to your questions within a week. A few of you have asked if we will be providing this information after the webinar. We will be emailing this information to all the attendees and also sharing this on our social media sites. So please be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. Also, at the end of this webinar, I will provide you phone numbers for our technical support desk and also the agent advertising team if you have any questions on Agent Elite membership. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Katie.
Thank you, Mia. Good morning, everyone. Today, we will be walking through the process in the Equator system of adding REO Alert zips and then tips for responding to REO Alerts. We'll also briefly explore new REO Market Insights. Before we get into accessing REO Alerts, what are they? REO Alerts are a new tool that gives you real-time notifications when new REO properties are available on Equator. They allow you to communicate your interest to the servicer. And how do they help you? REO Alerts allow you to gain knowledge of the REO activity in your market. No other company currently provides this information. While it doesn't guarantee your assignment of the REO property, this information does give you further opportunity to promote yourself to the REO servicer. We will also look at REO Market Insights. And what are they? REO Market Insights are visual data and analytics on Equator REO inventory from the nation's top lenders. How do they help you as an agent? They're giving you up-to-date insight on your local market dynamics and providing volume transparency, as well as helping you take the temperature for what's going on in your REO market. So with all that laid out, let's start. We're taking a look now at Mia's example account in an Agent Elite overview screen. So this is an Agent Elite account. This is an upgrade from the standard agent account. Some of the information is the same from standard to Elite. For instance, you'll see that your menus at the top of the page are in the same place. Your agent profile, your picture and comments are at the top left. And the task and offer alerts are in roughly the same place on your screen as well. There are now many more added features to the Agent Elite profile, some of which we're going to look at today, including the knowledge box, the marketing and impressions box, the REO alerts, the market insights, which we'll be talking about, and you'll notice no ads on the right-hand side. So let's start by investigating our REO alerts. We're going to click on REO Alerts in the knowledge box at the top. On the REO Alerts view, no REO alerts are currently available for this agent, as you can see. But let's try to change that by widening our scope for potential alerts by looking at our REO Alert zip codes. So we're going to click on the Manage REO Alert Zip Codes button. On the Manage REO Alerts view, there's a pop-up message that displays, telling you that Equator has automatically turned on the zip codes within you as the agent's county as a default for you. The agent can make changes to which zip codes are turned on, and we'll see that next. We're going to click on the OK button in this message. And on the REO zip codes view, under the My REO Alert Zip Codes tab here, you have 132 REO Alert zip codes turned on based on your county, or the sample agent's county. So if any of these zip codes are not desirable to you, you can simply click them off in the alert status column to the right, just like that. Turning on REO Alert zip codes is free. As a note, the premium zip owned column shows whether you have purchased premium placement in the specific zip code that is coming up in this list. So when you purchase premium placement for these zips, it would be a really good idea to turn these specific zip codes on. If you have premium placement, you should also definitely have your REO alerts on. A quick message about the difference between REO alert zips and premium placement. Premium placement zip codes are about increasing your visibility to servicers for REOs in the zip codes that you work in the most often. REO alerts are about increasing REO properties' visibility to you, the agent. So in other words, with REO alerts, you are seeing more opportunities, and with premium placement, you are creating more opportunities to be seen. So returning to our screen, this agent, our sample agent Mia, has another zip code that she works in often, but she's not sure whether that's already turned on in her long list of REO alert zip codes. So let's check the search results tab up here to see if we can add that other zip code. I'm going to click on the search results tab. And in the search bar above the search results tab, you can type by zip code or by city and state, and then click the magnifying glass to check for that specific zip. As a note, you can enter information in the search bar up here from any tab on this screen, but the results will only display on your search results tab. So let's type in Agent Mia's preferred zip code and then look for it, clicking the magnifying glass. And here it is, the zip code the agent is looking for displays, so we're going to turn this alert on as well. The Save Changes button activates as soon as you've turned this on to save this new zip to your REO alert. So we're going to click Save Changes to add this. And you have successfully added an REO alert zip code. Let's go back to View My Zips and see what's changed. So now our sample agent has 133 REO zips active, and her added zip is at the top of her list now. To check immediately to see if turning on these new zip codes have triggered any new alerts, I would click to the Respond to Alerts button up here at the top. As a note, as you can see, in reality, the amount of time you can expect between turning on REO alert zip codes and receiving an alert can be anywhere from a couple of hours or days or weeks, depending on what the REO market is doing in your selected zip codes. So if there was an REO property already in one of the zip codes that you have just added, you could potentially have an REO alert immediately after updating your list of REO alert zips. For the sake of this example, though, we will transition from the REO alert section in Equator to a sample email that agents receive when they get a notification that there is a new REO in one of their selected zip codes. So we're going to transform to an email alert. Some of you may have already seen an example of this. In our example, Agent Mia has received an email advising her of the REO alert property and providing a link for her to log into her Equator account to follow up on that REO alert. So we're going to click here where it says to click here. And once you've logged back into Equator, the email link takes you straight to this REO alert response detail to respond immediately to that alert. Here you can enter a note to the servicer about what makes you the ideal agent to sell this property. I'm going to enlarge this screen for a better view so that we can see what's going on. So we here at Equator have analyzed a small sample of servicer agent selections based on REO alert response. And we want to share with you some of the conclusions we've come to about what are some less effective and then what are some more effective examples of property-specific notes. So we'll give you a first example. Pick me, I'm interested, I will get the job done for you. Generally, servicers are looking for more evidence that you are uniquely qualified to sell this property. So this example doesn't say that. With example 2, I have been a realtor for 11 years and have a proven track record of success with REO sales. We're getting closer here, but we're still not being specific about the property that the servicer wants to sell, wants to get off the books. So we'll try another tactic, and with example 3, I live in this development and have sold 6 REO properties in this neighborhood. I am well versed with how this home will need to be marketed, and I live close by, so I am available to respond to inquiries and including cell phone number. This is a well thought out response that is property specific and has contact information included, which we've gotten feedback is very helpful. This would be an example of a potentially very successful note on this REO alert response. While we're on this screen, as another note, if you wanted to respond to an REO alert that you are not interested, it's worth mentioning that it is an effective bridge building strategy with servicers to include a response even if you're not interested. Something like, I will be on vacation, or this looks like a great opportunity, but unfortunately our office is 2 hours away from the property. So something like that would go a long ways towards letting them know that you've seen the opportunity but have a reason why you're not choosing it. In the meantime, though, we definitely want to respond that we are interested in this property. So with our good example in place, we're going to click Submit. And now the REO Alerts view shows that you have indicated to the servicer that you are interested. As a note here on this screen, if you do have multiple alerts that you're responding to, if you choose to indicate your interest in to all of the alerts at the same time by clicking Respond to All REO Alerts, you're able to indicate your interest, but you don't have the opportunity, if you click it in bulk like this, to type a personalized message about each property. So in order to put in that note, you would want to click each one individually and enter a note. Let's go back now to the Agent's Overview page to see what has been updated from our main screen. So now the REO Alert section shows that the agent has sent a message to the servicer of the REO property that she is interested. While we're on the overview screen, there is another update on this page to explore that we said we were going to talk about, the local REO Marketing Insights map to the left, which displays a heat map of REO properties across the United States. We're going to click on this. And this REO Market Insights map gives users an at-a-glance idea of which states have the most active REO markets. As a note, the previous month is always going to be the most recent data available, but if for some reason you want to go back to a different month, you may use the drop-down menu up here at the top to get that data. So this map itself is a visual indicator, but if we scroll down screen here, the graphics below the map give insights about the numbers for the overall U.S. market. And these include up-to-date real estate REO data and metrics with month-over-month trends in some cases, and a more complete idea of how many properties are in Equator production nationwide. So how does this information help you as an agent? This gives you an opportunity to take the temperature of what's going on in the REO market. It provides volume transparency for what we have in our system, and you can take the pulse of the market and kind of strategize based on what you see here. So we're going to scroll back up and explore this heat map a bit more. We're going to start by hovering over each state, which gives you individualized data and metrics for active REO listings during the selected month. As a note, the REO Markets Inside Map of the United States, the one on your screen right now, is now available to all agents, Standard and Agent Elite. However, only Agent Elite members have the opportunity to drill down further on this map for more detailed information about their state. So in our example, since we are Agent Elite, let's click on California, which is Agent Mia's state, to see more details. So now we have displayed a more detailed California map broken down by county. Just as this is a more detailed heat map, there's a more specific metric down below it if we scroll down. And now you see all of the same REO breakdowns for this state's active REO listings for the displayed month. Let's scroll back up to the map. And just as you were able to hover over states to get specific REO numbers by state, you may now also hover over each county to get ideas about each county's specific number of active REO listings during the selected month. So let's click on LA County since that is Mia's home county. The map zooms even further into the selected county. And below the county level map is new data that is now county specific. So you can see the same activity, performance, and properties information about the county in which you are interested, so even more specified marketing opportunities. We're going to scroll back up screen. And of course, you can still hover over the county to get that same county by county REO information. So those are some of the basics of the new tools at your disposal with Agent Elite. Let's return to the overview screen now. We're going to click up through our overview menu. We return to the home page. And thank you so much for participating in this guide through some of the new Agent Elite features, including REO Alerts and Market Insights. Now I'm going to turn this back over to Mia to address the questions that you have been typing in throughout the presentation.
Okay, I do see several questions coming in to the question box. And we are so lucky to have George Roletter, who just walked into the room here, and George is our VP of the agent team. George is going to help us answer some of these questions. All right.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so the first question is, and I see this very common question throughout this webinar and also on social media, I recently have received several requests for REO assignments. I mentioned that I was interested in each one of them. They came in on separate dates. I did not get any of them. And all of them were close to my office. Does the asset manager have their set group of realtors they're using, or why am I not getting the listing?
That is a great question. And number one, it's really exciting that you're engaging the platform. You're aware of the properties in your area. This is a unique product that only Equator provides in the marketplace for REOs. So we're happy that you're using it and engaging the product. That's number one. Number two, REO Alerts is really two pieces. It's a knowledge product that informs you about your local market so that you can be potentially more knowledgeable than other agents you're competing with locally. And secondly, it provides you an opportunity to promote yourself with your specific capabilities for that specific asset, which you're doing, and that's really, really great. What REO Alerts doesn't provide is a guarantee that you'll get the listing. It provides you, again, knowledge and promotion for those particular assets in your local area. Now, specifically to your question about relationships that asset managers have with specific real estate agents, just like any other part of the real estate industry, the answer is yes. Relationships matter greatly. And the relationships that real estate agents have or are developing or would like to develop with different servicers and asset managers are very, very important. So although I can't tell you specifically for the properties that you're mentioning whether there was a relationship between those servicers and the agents that they did choose, I can tell you that relationships do matter. And as a real estate agent who participates in default, REO, and short sale, I would recommend that you do your research on all the servicers that have properties in your area, and you can do that on the internet. We don't provide you the list of servicers that are on Equator due to contractual reasons with those servicers. We are working on some of that. We'd like to be as transparent as possible, and I hope that you're seeing us move in that direction for your benefit. But at the present time, we can't just provide you the list. But you can do that research on your own pretty easily using different search engines on the internet and try to establish some of those relationships that way or through other agents that you know that have had success getting REO short sale properties with different servicers on Equator and other providers. So I hope that answers your question. REO Alerts is providing you that knowledge of your local market, and that's a competitive advantage even in normal real estate where a consumer may say, has there been an REO in this area? I'm interested in investing, buying a property for my family, and I'd like to know if there's default around me. Do you know? Well, now you have that knowledge, and that's great. You've engaged in a promotional vehicle to the servicers with your specific capabilities, and you mentioned proximity as a value, and that's extremely valuable to our servicers, I can tell you that. And then the third piece is the relationship piece, and the answer is yes, although we don't know specifically for these properties, but that is an important piece of what you should be spending your time on if you want to participate in default properties. And again, as we move forward, we're going to continue to try and improve our transparency, improve the information that we're providing you to make you the best agent you can be, and ultimately to get you listings and make more commissions.
Great. Thanks, George. I have another one. If we pay for this, will it guarantee a listing?
So REO Alerts, again, is a knowledge product and a promotional product. And no marketing in real estate today guarantees anything. And we can't guarantee you listings. So we're not going to say that. We're not going to imply that. What we're trying to do is provide a platform for you to promote yourself in the most specific way possible. So many other companies out there in general real estate or in default provide you the opportunity to advertise and promote yourself. Most of those opportunities are very general. They're in a zip code. They're in a county. They're in a list of something. But I'm not aware of any opportunity that is specific to an actual asset or property except for the opportunity being provided in REO Alerts. So this again is one of many marketing and promotional opportunities that you have to choose from. You know, it's not mandatory that you buy this. This is an opportunity that you can choose to participate in. And specifically for alerts, it will provide you that knowledge. That's guaranteed. You'll have that knowledge. And what's guaranteed is you'll have the opportunity to promote yourself to the servicers in a specific way with your specific capabilities for that specific asset. What it does not guarantee is that you'll get the listing. There's a lot of other factors that we can't control and frankly are not compliant in terms of the regulations today in our space in guaranteeing any type of listing or connecting you with a servicer in that way. But we can provide you the transparency and the promotional opportunity.
Okay, great. I see that there is some confusion between premium placement zip codes and REO Alert zip codes. So one of the questions is, let's see, where did it go now? Well, basically, it's I'm paying for premium placement zip codes, and I'm responding as fast as I can, but I'm not getting any listings. So the confusion is the premium placement zip codes are something else versus the REO Alert zip codes.
Yeah, so there's a couple questions in there, and they're both very good. And we're going to continue to try and get better on the product side to make it easier for you to understand these two products and how they work together. But I'll make it very simple for you. I want to talk about timing first. So the sense of urgency you have to respond to alerts is great. You know, that's fantastic. I love the engagement and the excitement around the product. It's something we've worked really hard on to try and bring more value to agents on the Equator network. Time does not contribute any positive influence in you potentially getting the listing. So I hope that's very clear. Your response within a minute or within an hour is irrelevant. As long as you respond before the servicer looks for an agent to select to list that asset, your response will be shown in that search experience for the servicer. So the servicer has an asset, and that asset is driving a search, and a list of agents come up for that asset. Proximity, again, is a big factor. In that search result, your response will be shown to the servicer so they can review it. Okay? That's REO Alerts. Now let's talk about premium placement. Premium placement improves your ranking in those search results. So not unlike Google AdWords or Yelp advertising or a lot of other methods that agents use to market themselves, premium placement makes you more competitive in the zip code that that asset resides in. So again, REO Alerts provides you the response and your specific capabilities. Premium placement moves you up higher in the search results so that you have a better chance of being seen and giving that servicer your impression and your interest and your specific capability. So REO Alerts is a knowledge and promotional tool. Premium placement is an advertising vehicle to move your ranking higher and make it more obvious to the servicer of your interest in that property.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Is there a way to know if the servicer has actually seen our response?
Today, there is not a way to know that. So you receive an impression on the platform when a search is done for an asset, or if a general search is done in a particular geographic area. And if your search listing is provided to the servicer, we record an impression, and those impressions, you see them on your overview or welcome page when you log into Equator. We don't currently track specific views of your interest or your note, which outlines your capabilities for that asset at the present time. It is something that we're looking into on our product side, and we're just doing some research on whether that's going to provide additional value for you at this time.
Okay, I want to be mindful of everyone's time. It is 2 minutes before 11, 3 minutes. So we're going to wind down. I think I've got time for 1 or 2 more questions here. Is REO Market Insights, is the data just specific to what comes into Equator?
Yes. So REO Market Insights, our data product, again, in this category of what we'll call knowledge for agents, if we look at the different types of value we're providing. REO Market Insights is Equator data only. Now remember, Equator services up to 40% of all the default inventory in the nation. So we have a very, a really good portion of the market here that we're representing. We are looking into potentially enhancing our data with outside sources, but I don't have any specifics on that yet. The short answer to your question, which is a great question, is REO Market Insights are specifically Equator data only.
Okay, so then I'm seeing questions about how do we get a coupon code for a discount? They want to add premium placements, zip codes, and any other promotional discounts that we have. So as we close, let me give you a few phone numbers. I'll show you the phone numbers up there. That for advertising and agent advertising in sales, you can contact area code 424-220-1197, or they can be emailed at agentdevelopment@equator.com. You can call them and ask for any promotional discounts that we currently have. If you're in need of technical support, we have technical advisors on our team. You can reach them at area code 310-469-9167 or email agenthelp@equator.com. And also, you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, YouTube. We're also going to post this on social media sites. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for attending our webinar today. And I do see there are several questions that we did not get to, but I promise you we will get back to you by next week, the end of next week, with the answers to these questions. Some very, very great questions, and I wish we had time for all of them, but this was a 30-minute webinar. And also what I want to ask you to do is you'll receive a survey or an evaluation in about an hour. If you could please let us know your feedback. If you like what you heard and saw today, let us know that, and let us know if you would like additional webinars on maybe a monthly basis, what topics you want to hear us talk about, what other informational items you would like us to go over regarding Equator or regarding just the REO market as well. So once again, thank you, and appreciate everyone's time today. Have a great day.